Hey, so welcome back. It is day 12 of my 30-day video diary where I'm on my journey back to a more active, healthier, and intentional life. And I'm filming at our island cottage just north of Boston, and it's off-grid, and you can probably hear seagulls, maybe, and if you do, I'm so sorry about that, but there's nowhere here to escape them. They're everywhere, and for me, it eventually fades away into the background. I'll be here for a couple of days and recording my video diaries. Bear with me if the noise gets pretty bad. And my cottage, or I should say my family's cottage, is right here. Let me show it to you. Right there, that's the outside of it. And let me get us back. And somebody's drilling. So the wonders of the island is that there's a lot of noise, even though it should be quiet, but that's okay. Somebody's working on their boat. So hopefully you can't hear that. And if you do, I'm so sorry. So let's dive right into today's numbers. So my Oura ring stats, the redness was 73 and it went up to 81, which is really good. And then my sleep went from 79 to 89, which is really, really good. So which meant I slept pretty well last night considering all the squawking from the seagulls. And then my activity, the day before yesterday was 82, and then yesterday it was at 85. So I managed to get 344 calories out of 300. Again, my redness was a little lower yesterday, so my goal was a little bit lower as well. So I'm pretty happy about that. My fasting hours, I broke my fast yesterday at noon because I ate early because I knew I wasn't going to be able to eat later in the day because I was coming to the island later in the afternoon. So I kind of got it out of the way and then was able to work a few more hours before I had to leave to come meet my husband here. Pretty excited that I was actually able to do and complete a 23-hour fast. That's probably the first time in a really long time that I was able to do one meal a day. I finished a 23-hour fast from the night before because I finished eating around 2:30 in the afternoon the day before. So I'm pretty excited about that. That really, I was surprised at how long I went. I thought for sure I'd eat in the morning sometime, but I'm pretty happy. So this is what I ate. I ate leftovers because that's what I do. Had ground pork, pork belly and cheese, and Brazil nuts, and dark chocolate almonds, which kind of sounds a lot like what I ate the day before. In terms of activity, I went for a walk in the morning and then did my 10x strength training in the basement before I ate lunch. So I managed to get that in, and that took about 25 minutes. So it's getting a little bit shorter, learning what exercises I have to do and in the order in which to do them. And then for my BG readings and ketones, my blood glucose, you can see it steadily lowered in the morning until I did my strength training, and then it kind of went up a little bit, but it didn't really stay up there that long. And then, but really there's no major glucose dips or spikes. Had originally just planned on eating lunch for my meal yesterday because it was pretty filling. But after we got to the island, we were talking to some friends, and I also had a little bit of angel sparkle cake, is I think what you called it. And I, haven't been around people in a long time. And, when you get offered food, you just sort of say, okay, but ate it, half of it, had some blueberries, and it was delicious. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But overall, I was pretty excited because even though I ate some of it and it kind of broke my fast, ended up not fasting as long, I was good about not eating the whole thing. And also when I checked my blood sugar later in the evening and then this morning, my blood sugar was actually, did spike, of course, because there was a little bit of sugar in it, but it didn't stay up there for very long. So I'm super, super psyched about that. And then it didn't really spike my blood glucose in the evening at all while I slept. And it was pretty stable this morning. So that's a win. I didn't kick myself for breaking my fast or having something sweet that I hadn't planned for. And then overall, I am in a great mood because I am on the island. And again, it's pretty hard to be in a bad mood when you're here. Are you okay? All right. So, okay. My husband's all right. Just heard a big crash in the camp. My parting thought for the day is, so what do you do when someone offers you food when you had it in mind that you were going to fast much longer or that your fast had already started? Of course, one, you can say no thanks. It's a little too late for me to eat, which, again, I think most people will find acceptable. You can also say sure and then ask for a smaller piece and eat only a little bit, which is what my plan was, but then I didn't get to just a small piece for me. I was already served it. So it was a larger piece than I had wanted. but I only ate half, so that was good. And then you can say yes and stuff yourself, right? This is the one that I wanted to avoid at all costs. You know, believe me, this cake was delicious. It was so yummy. It was like, you know, just not, it's the kind of dessert I like, which is not very sweet, and it had fruit, a little bit of fruit in it. I was able to think about how good I felt and then about what it would do to my blood sugar. That was really what was going through my mind. And so I ate a little bit so as not to offend our host, and then also not to offend my blood sugar. I honestly didn't want to decline it at all either. I didn't want to just say no. You know, it's been so long since we've been able to participate in social gatherings, and you know, it's kind of nice to eat with other people. And most of my meals, because I eat them early now during the week, I eat by myself. You know, able to enjoy that with some friends, and you know, actually we also met some new friends as well. So you know, I could feel bad about it, but I really don't. I think it was a great evening. And again, didn't really do anything to my blood sugar, so as long as I don't keep doing that every night, I think we'll be okay. And then let me know in the comments below what your strategies are when you're offered food while you're fasting. What do you say and what do you do? And let's see how the rest of this day goes, because I'm out of my usual environment of sitting in my house. This island is lovely, but it's also a great place to have snacks. I tend to be not on a specific routine when I'm here, but it's a good chance for me to kind of figure out how to play it by ear. I think with working from home and being home most of the time, it's pretty easy to get into a routine. But what do you do when it's no longer COVID, you're no longer stuck at home, you're spending more time outside? So it's another challenge to figure out how would I cope with food and lack of a schedule, etc. We'll see what the rest of the day brings. And let's make sure to please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Okay, I think we're on. And of course now there's a boat going by, so we're just gonna wait for that to pass maybe.